this one, and I kept getting it suggested to me on my For You page. Not from For You page, but on my suggestions. I think I had it set up to my For You page, and I think it looked interesting. It says now is the perfect time to play retro games, and I'm already way ahead of you, brother. This is from Isaac OS. Cool stuff. Let's take a look what he has to say. No. Isaac OS.
Modern gaming is absolutely incredible. Gaming in general has never even been this powerful, this seamless, or this integrated into our
PS5 controller.
lives. And whether it's your phone, your laptop, your video game console, or even your smart fridge, you can somehow find a way to play video games.
That TMNT shirt though, and those plushes in the back though.
On it. Not to mention some of my favorite games of all time have been released within the past 5 years, like Ghost of Tsushima, Baldur's Gate 3, Balatro, Team Fortress 2. Okay, maybe not
But Team Fortress 2 been around for like forever.
Fortress 2, but this game is still incredible and one of the greatest games of all time, so I refuse to believe that it could ever die. And all this modern greatness does come with a price, and I'm not just talking.
Yeah, part of the reason why I usually don't play like a lot of the newer games, the stuff that you probably gonna see like at the Game Awards, is because it's just they cost a lot. That's like, don't get me wrong, I am dying to get my hands on Tekken 8, start playing that on stream, but it's a lot of money. I got lucky with getting my hands on Street Fighter 6, and stuff like that. Like, that's the same reason. It's like, yeah, it's on Crossroads Racing. I wanted to do more of that, and yeah, it's just like it cost a lot of money. So yeah, I can totally see where he's coming from.
About these 7.
It's the thing about when My Hero All Justice comes out. It's probably going to be a pretty hefty price. The same way as Sparking Zero, hefty price. It's a whole lot. It's a hefty price. This is an expensive hobby, just like cosplay.
$70 price tag. Or wait, sorry, the $80 price tag. Games are now massive, like 100 gigabytes type of massive, and it's very common for.
Yeah, like I wanted to play Uma Musume, and that sucker is like over 300 gigs required in order to actually to get it going. It's like, it's insane.
Things to take forever to download. Launching a game requires you to open the launcher that will then launch you into another launcher that then lets you launch into the third launcher that lets you then update the game. Physical media is basically dying off because companies are pushing digital more than ever, and even if you buy the disc, you're going to be required to update it and connect to the internet. So what's the point?
Yeah, it's getting more to the point where like somebody was saying like you will own nothing and be happy because it's more digital, because they can be taken off the the little market at any time. Like, for instance, I missed the boat with this a super duper long time ago, but it doesn't make any sense for like I don't know, for like there's Transformers Devastation. I want to play that. There was that other TMNT game that came out around the same time that Transformers Devastation came out. I wanted to play that because it looked good, but now I can't because like it's just because it's been wiped off the market unless I get the physical copy of it.
Point of buying the disc anyway, because it doesn't even matter. We're getting bombarded with microtransactions, battle passes, notifications. So yes, gaming has evolved, but not every aspect of it feels like progress. And at the risk of sounding like a 25-year-old experiencing a quarter-life crisis because he's for the first time realizing that he's getting older and all the systems and institutions around him have started to change, therefore implying that one day he will also return to the soil that created him, I would like to remind all of us that we can, in fact, return to a much simpler time. Retro games.
Get going with oil changes, tire rotations, and roadside assistance with Toyota Care.
Box.gg dropped a limited box with a first edition rocket pack. While opening it,
Now, retro is a very subjective term, but I'm just going to stick to the rule of thumb that anything that is 2 console generations back.
Played Dreamcast only with demos and demos, House of the Dead 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Played the PS2 like extensively for a bunch of different games. played the GameCube extended for a bunch of games. Did not play OG Xbox. Didn't.
Would be considered retro. So we just got the Switch 2, so that means the Switch is not retro yet, but the Wii U and the 3DS, those things are starting to show some gray hairs alongside the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
We're all getting very old. I've been upset.
And heck, even though the play for Genshin Impact, the PS4 can no longer support it because Genshin's gotten too powerful.
With retro games since I was in middle school trying to buy my very first Xbox original, and then that would lead me to go on to buy things like the Superboy, that is like a handheld SNES portable gaming disaster. And I'm here to tell you that right now is literally the perfect time to dive back into the retro catalog. So whether or not you're a veteran or a new
Smash Bros. Bro.
comer, I'm going to show you why this hobby is so powerful, so beautiful, and how it actually has been saving my relationship with gaming. Okay, so we are slowly approaching 1 whole year here on this channel.
Those plushies though.
For Isaac OS, I have been working non-stop like every single day on these videos, and I actually can't believe that it's gone by this fast. I've been making these videos alone here. I write and film and script and edit all of these videos by myself in this room here, which actually used to be like attached to the garage. And I live in Arizona, so it gets so hot in here. But anyway, my dream is to somehow, some way turn this into my job. I don't know if that's possible, but if I could do this full time and just focus only on making
that is the dream. That is the dream for this guy too. But you know, I've been trying to work hard, like changing my content strategy and stuff like that. You know, doing what I can when I can, like just basically tailoring it to me and what I like to do and stuff like that. And just like, you know, there's just something I want to. That's what I keep trying to pursue too. And I'm getting better at it, I feel. But there's definitely, absolutely room for improvement. I just feel like I need to continue trying and find that sweet spot. I feel like I'm getting close.
Videos, I would be so happy, and that is my goal. And in order to support that, I've actually been designing and making some clothes. I've been designing these things for the past month or two, and I think they're really clean, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. And if
I would love to do merch too. Hold on. Goodness. I would love to do merch too. But I have some specific things that I want to do that are like references to myself, like, you know, like references to myself and like some general stuff. Like I think that would look kind of cool, and yeah, I really wanted to do stuff like that.
If you want to support the channel, please consider checking out the disc tee or the CRT cap, or potentially just buying some stickers. Anything and everything that I make from these.
Yeah, I don't want to like overdo it, but like I want to like you said, like some shirts, hats, tank tops, stickers, stuff like that. Just something cool stuff like that.
Clothes will go directly back into the videos, and it will actually aid in supporting my goal of somehow turning this into my job. If you want to support the channel and get some fresh clothes, please go to isaacos.net. Again, just thank you so much for being here and even supporting. We've gotten so advanced now with our technology and processing power that you can play retro games on anything: phones, laptops, PCs, dedicated handhelds.
I absolutely do that. Like, they're, you know, just randomly, I like this how I do Superstar Arcade. It's like that's what I love. That's why I love doing Superstar Arcade, especially when I do like retro games, like the old school. What I would love to do is to just get it right and start doing stuff for like PlayStation games and PS2 games, stuff like that, and just like heck, maybe even Dreamcast stuff too if I had the edit too. So like, yeah, that's how I feel about that. And
if your device was made especially within the past few years, chances are it can run a huge chunk of retro games, and that is the beauty of it. These games are smaller, less demanding, and don't require a high-end GPU just to boot it up. Unless it's a really odd one like Star Wars Rogue Squadron or some peculiar PS2 game, odds are you're going to be able to emulate it. if you're just now getting into the hobby or you want to revisit
Golden Sun. Yeah, Isaac, Golden Sun.
some of your childhood favorites, all you need is a decent smartphone. Playing games on your smartphone now is usually the way to go for most people who are just now entering this hobby, and with the recent releases on iOS, it's more accessible than ever. Touchscreen controls can be limiting, but if you're playing something slower paced like a JRPG, it works fine. And if you want to splurge a little bit, you can just buy one of these cheap little controller clips, and then boom, you've got a dedicated handheld designed for gaming and emulating things on your phone, and it only cost you like 10 bucks on Amazon. It's the same situation now with PC.
Yeah.
If you've got a recent laptop or a somewhat modern computer in your family room, in your own room, wherever you are, you should have access to some solid performance for playing retro games. And if you don't have a PC, dude, just go to the library. You could literally walk in here and set things up and get yourself going with a couple of retro games, and it doesn't even cost you anything. All you have to do is have a membership.
Yeah, the library here would absolutely the library here would absolutely kick you out immediately. If they caught you doing that.
To your local library.
I could be wrong, but still, they probably have you look at.
And then if you dig to the next layer, there's the handheld boom that has been exploding all over the place. Steam Decks, ROG Allies, MSI Claws, they're not just modern powerhouses. With a little bit of tinkering, a little bit of customization, these things can not only play and destroy some AAA games, but also become your retro handheld go-tos. And if this isn't enough, then you can peel the onion back even more and buy a dedicated retro handheld. These things are built specifically for retro games, so it feels a little bit more authentic. There's no distractions, no notifications. It's just pure nostalgia oozing out of the device. You've got controls that are actually built in here to the screen instead of just a smartphone with a controller. You've got usually better screens that are designed for gaming, and also form factors that will hit you with a crazy amount of nostalgia that will make you feel super old like this.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. If I play any retro games or like specifically like games that I need that let's say I've played like OG Smash here on the channel and on stream and like offline, so I had to get the USB version of like an old of the N64 controller in order to just get the feel of it, you know, because it's just ways I play certain games. I guess it's like pattern recognition, I suppose, and it's just and I just do it that way. And I want to do this, and like the same thing for like cause I got an NES emulator that I want to play. I want to play a few games on there. I want to get an NES USB USB controller and a Sega Genesis USB controller, because that's just you know, that's how I feel when you do like when you play those different types of games. I just need that feel. It's the same when you get an arcade machine.
This one, the RG34XX. And you don't even have to go this route and buy anything new or download something on your smartphone. You can literally just dust off your old hardware, and for the most part, if you can get past maybe a couple of bad screens or some outdated hardware that feels old, you can still re-experience a lot of these fantastic titles. And if you dabble into modding, you can actually elevate the value of these consoles and systems by tenfold and give you access to so much.
I know that the 3DS is notorious for like having like mods and stuff like that. It's very interesting.
Much more. Like, look at the 3DS. Once you mod this, it knocks open so many different doors, and it basically gives the 3DS a sensu bean, and it just evolves into something new where you can do almost anything. Modding and tinkering for so many people is the only reason why they're even in this hobby, because it's that much fun. Personalizing a device, setting it up, adjusting and adding different features that you want, maybe removing some features, messing with the firmware. All of these things add to the experience of retro gaming. Now, contrary to popular belief, my favorite thing about retro games isn't actually the games themselves, but instead it's the options we have and how we play these games. besides just playing regular retro games, we have the option now because of the beautiful, amazing communities all across the catalog.
Wait, what? I'm gonna need to look that up after this.
To play ROM hacks, reinterpretations, remasters, and full-on remakes of our childhood favorite games. This is like seeing something that you loved as a kid getting taken by another person that loved it, remaking it, and creating something completely new and sometimes even better than the original product. Mario Eclipse is a recent example of a game that absolutely transformed Mario Sunshine into something completely new and honestly even better. It's a full fan-made rework of Sunshine, complete with new characters, 120 new shines, new mechanics, and a custom soundtrack. It is bonkers that there's people who have been developing and creating this for years.
I know there's some people, awesome. I know there's some people who will make their own kind of like inserts of like Super Mario 64. I would love to do that too at some point. That looks like fun.
Mega Mix is a complete overhaul of the original Sonic the Hedgehog. It adds new music, faster physics, newer characters like Shadow, and it just revamps the original game. And I believe even one of the developers who worked on Mega Mix went on to help with Sonic Mania, which is just
yeah, I can see it.
And don't even get me started on Pokemon ROM hacks.
Absolutely, that is like the blank canvas of just modding.
Baby, Pokemon Unbound literally feels like some type of game that was a mainline Pokemon game and you never played it as a kid, and you're just now finding out that it exists, and you're going back and replaying and starting up a brand new classic original game, but it's actually fan-made. And this is just one area and one method of playing your original games in a different way. There's also things like speed running, which if you're not tapped into the speed
the classic stuff
community, you know, it's a little overwhelming at first, but trust me, watch some Super Mario 64 speedruns and you will become a fan. Playing your favorite retro games is fun and all, but then you slap a timer onto it and things immediately change. The vibe is different, you feel the pressure, and now you're racing against the clock. Not to flex on you or anything, but I do actually have a sub-hour speedrun record in Mario 64 70 star, so I
go ahead and flex on them.
think I deserve a like on this video.
Let's go, bro! Oh my
I haven't even mentioned HD texture packs or widescreen mods that make all of these older games look so dang good. I mean, look at this Animal Crossing for the GameCube with HD texture packs and a widescreen mod.
Looks really good.
Oh. When you were a kid, you were just mashing buttons and drooling over your PSP. Or if you owned Pokemon Ranger, you were destroying your touchscreen. Now that we actually have fully formed brains, we have the ability to see the little details and the design mechanics and understand, most importantly, the storyline of a lot of our favorite childhood games. Being able to see the little details like the level design or the hidden themes, and most importantly, actually understanding the storyline of a lot of these games is so incredible if you revisit them as an adult. One of my favorite games as a kid was Mega Man Battle Network, but I was like 6 and I had no clue what was going on, so I was just spamming battle chips and vibing out. But I recently revisited this game 20 years later, and dude, okay, massive spoiler alert, but Mega Man in this game is actually the main character Land's twin brother who died when they were younger, and then their father took his DNA and embedded it into like the digital ecosystem and created Mega Man. So
that's wild. What was it? What would be a game for me that did that for me? I'd say like Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2. It was like this really just wild story. Like a lot of the side quests in it, they were like really sad. Like I remember there was one where your character is helping another character. It's like a made up one. Then he's old and he wants to go on one last adventure before he dies. And then you complete the mission, and then it's just like you're like thank you and goodbye, and it just fades, and that's it. Or like, you know, there's another one. It's so much good stuff. He's absolutely correct about this.
So one of my favorite childhood characters that I grew up with, Mega Man from the Battle Network series, was actually just my dead sibling. Retro games are the foundation of the games that we're playing today. It's like you listen to a song that just got released and you really enjoy it, only to realize that it's sampling an older song. So then you go back to the source and
Sonic. Sonic. Absolutely. Sonic.
realize that that original song is actually way better than anything else you've ever heard. And sometimes you'll even go back to a game that you loved only to realize that it's terrible. I used to be obsessed with Sonic Adventure 2.
Hey, look here. Look here.
Battle, and I still love it to this day, but replaying it lately has not been the most fun experience. Turns out I spent like 95% of my childhood just in the
Frankly, that's valid. Being in the nothing but the Chow Garden.
Chow Garden, messing around here, and then the other 5% I was just salivating over Root.
I did just get through watching the two-parter for the two-parter for like Something About Shadows. Like, oh my.
Some people do get really sad and just emotional whenever they go back and revisit their childhood games, only to realize that it was not nearly as much fun as they had previously remembered. But to me, that's actually a really cool thing, and it shows a sign of growth. It shows that you have changed as a human, which is a blessing, that we've even lived long enough to develop different tastes and different things that we like and prefer.
That is true. Oh, there's plenty of games I go back to and I have like the best time, but I like, cause I don't know, I have like the best time because I'm just like getting play some video games in general. But I definitely see where he's coming from. There's definitely like lots of games, like for like any of like the other handhelds, that are other games like that are Pokemon, that aren't Pokemon that I haven't played, that aren't Pokemon that I have not played, and then other like the mainline games, because I've only played Yellow and Red and Gold and Fire Red. Those are literally the only four of the mainline Pokemon games I've played, and that's basically it. Like I could sit there because like I don't know, there's just so much more that I could do. I think this is really fun that I could do like gaming wise for like handhelds. I think it's really cool.
References, and on top of that, you could also flip the coin and probably discover a retro game that you thought you didn't like as a kid, but if you revisit it now, you might enjoy it even more. There's always something to discover here, and playing retro games, I'm telling you, is like walking through a museum of history, and it's right there in your pocket.
And there's also the actual like video game museum, I think in like Plano. So yeah, that's really dope.
Social media and all of this digital noise, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, I think is genuinely the biggest problem leading to all of our mental health issues and just so much anxiety, which has
I definitely agree with that. It's like, my God, social media companies push incendiary content that doesn't fully intended to keep you online as much as possible. They to sell you stuff or like all kinds of this type of stuff, and there's always like these just people who they got like a revolving door of people that they want to have angry because they got stuff to sell, and like their anger, stuff like that. It's like a whole big heaping hot mess that just wow. And I definitely agree. This is probably one of the bigger reasons why a lot of these retro consoles and these retro games are making a comeback. Because not only they're all finished up and they have like this part of like replayability, but also it's just because like the constant noise of social media in general
actually pulled me more towards retro games than anything else in my life because they are offline. If you're using a dedicated retro handheld specifically, there's no battle passes, there's no notifications, there's no noise. It's all just so quiet.
Like you can get the feel of you can get your own conclusions of the game, and rather than listening to like the bajillion different like reviewers who they got their opinion, but you can have your opinion of the game at the end of the day. Because I think that's something to always think about. Like, you have your opinion of the game at the end of the day. Like, the stuff that you like, the stuff that you want to play, the stuff that you honestly like think about, even take it a step further. So you want to play, so you want to watch, so you want to read, stuff like that. Yeah. So doing it offline without always going to this creator or that creator, I think that helps. And then doing stuff offline, like playing the DS there. It's I think that's really cool too.
And so peaceful. And when you're playing these,
because I feel like when it comes to a lot of reviewers and they have like a hatred of a specific game or a specific franchise, some people can get that anxiety of like, oh, I need to, because that kind of like desire to fit in comes into play, I think. And they hear that same exact thing. On one end, they're like, I heard this reviewer say this game was trash, or this piece of media was trash, but there's kind of these cool characters, But I don't like what this person told me that I'm not supposed to like that, but I kind of don't see what the problem is. So yeah, that I can see that's. So, but then you just choose to like just enjoy that piece of media, that piece of content, like you go. And sometimes it's just not for you, and you just kind of you don't really give it too much of your energy and just kind of move on.
games, there's no online matchmaking. It's literally just you and the story, and that's it. And it's a very simple and obvious observation, but it's one of the biggest reasons why I truly gravitate so much towards this technology. And it's also why if I ever have children, I'm going to give them things that are offline, like a DS or a Game Boy or just a new retro handheld that can't connect to the internet, because I think this is the healthiest way to have any type of relationship with technology. We shouldn't be exposed to like 45 OnlyFans accounts constantly spamming us and everything that's going on in politics, and literally I log on to Twitter and I see somebody like dying in the first 3 seconds.
Yeah. I don't really get on Twitter that much no more. Someone asked me, do I do Twitter spaces? Like, nah. No. I don't touch that. I don't touch that at all. I've been getting on Twitter less. I'm a little more on Blue Sky now. And like I'll put on, like when I go, the most you'll see me do on a place like Twitter is like go live posts. And because if I really am up to posting something, then it's not gonna be just me like doing it all the time. It's gonna be like I suppose, like you said, like every once in the blue moon type deal. But I don't get on Twitter that much no more. Like, and it's gotten to the point where if I go to the bathroom, I will not take my phone with me. Like, I'm like, I purposely do that. Or sometimes when I go on a walk or go exercise, I don't take my phone with me. Or I go take a walk to the store, grab a snack. Sometimes I don't take my phone with me. Like, yeah, I'll do that. And I will not do that just so I'm not tempted to just jump on and like scroll or something like that. I'll get too distracted. Or if I'm trying to like lock in, like I'm doing right now, working on the videos, that's like I'm gonna try to be a little more intentional with my like stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. A little more intentional. Yeah, that's how I do more when it comes to like it. And then because I'll watch the stuff that I like, or like I'll watch anime that I want to catch up on, or watch cartoons I want to catch up on, or I'll watch like stuff relating to like MMA or martial arts stuff on that, like, and maybe learn a new trick or something like that, and just like, yeah, I definitely see where he's coming from when he say that.
It's a mess, dude. Literally.
What?
Just go outside, don't bring your phone, and just grab some type of older retro device or a retro handheld or something that's offline and hang out, play some games, enjoy.
Or like there's another little thing on there if you want to do that. It's called Brick, and if I'm not, I keep hearing about the Brick, and you can take it and you can tap it on your phone, and you can turn off like certain apps that you're very tempted to just jump on. Like if you just want to constantly be on like TikTok and doom scroll, or like on Twitter. Sorry about that. But yeah, I totally get where he's coming from. Like you're able to go, like if you got that, it's just you in the game console. It's not you and your phone, your temptation to just like jump on like TikTok or whatever social media thing you check out, whatever, like slop what's going on. And yeah.
Enjoy the nature, and the irony here is that video games and all of these things used to be said like, oh, you're gonna waste your life, don't let them play video games so much, and they were roasting me as a kid, I remember, for playing things like the Game Boy Advance so much. And then nowadays I actually think that these items and these tools is the bridge back to peaceful existence where you don't have to worry about the notifications. It's like this weird thing where it actually led to a lot of problems, but now it's the solution to get back to just peace and quiet.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Look at that, it's on the way. And finally, one of the best parts about retro games is rebuilding your collection. Curating a personal catalog of classics that means something to you personally. It's a lot more than...
Yeah, it's not based on like reviewers and this and that. Oh my god. That is literally that is literally me. That is literally me. That Pokemon, that purple Game Boy Color with Pokemon Gold. Me and my siblings. That is us.
Buying stuff, in my opinion, it's really about building a personal museum, a personal catalog that represents you and your taste and your opinion, and also shows off your childhood. Unless you were like me and you sold every game that you owned to GameStop so that they could rip you
for like 5 cents and a ham sandwich
off and scam you, you probably already have a pretty decent collection just collecting dust. And right now I'm in the middle of rebuilding my childhood.
I'm pretty sure that there's some Power Rangers games on the 3DS. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there was like Power Rangers Samurai, I think Power Rangers Super Legends, and I think Power Rangers Super Mega Force and OG Mega Force. There's already some games I could get my hands on right now. And I'm pretty sure they got like backwards compatibility. Obviously Pokemon, obviously Legend of Zelda, because I did play Phantom Hourglass. I did play Phantom Hourglass on stream back in 2024. And that was his thing. But yeah, that's definitely something I would do too.
Collection. I just finished collecting the last DS model, the DSi, that now completes my system of DS handhelds. And this took me a while because, you know, these things are expensive and it...
Oh yeah. The console itself was like as much as like even slightly more than like the just regular Switch. It's like I think up to $200 to $350.
Does take a long time to pull the trigger on anything that is more than a couple of bucks. Taking the time and finding prices that are actually affordable and are good deals is seriously so rewarding, and that is truly, in my opinion, where the dopamine comes from collecting any retro video game system or console or game. We're in such a rare moment in gaming where modern games are bigger and flashier and more accessible than ever, but we've also unlocked the keys to the past with this newer technology. And my message here isn't to just ditch the future and reject modern games, but instead try and blend both, because I think a lot of people are missing that beautiful balance whenever you can play the newest
perfectly balanced, as all things should be,
releases that you've been looking forward to, but also have things that you're enjoying that are in the past that you don't have to spend buttloads of money on, and you can go back and rediscover the classics, the foundation, and something that's a little bit slower paced.
Oh, well, you're preaching to the choir, brother. You're preaching to the choir. I got this, and I play like Pokemon Stadium offline. This is a lot I do offline. There's a lot of gaming I do offline. That I'm not trying to stream or turn into episodes of Superstar Arcade. There's definitely games I try to like do, and Yeah, it's a lot, and I definitely agree with them on this.
It's seriously, that is where things all start to blend together and feel like, I don't know,
Also, Avatar in the background.
you're in this weird state of equilibrium with
Are you doing the 6-7?
gaming. So I definitely recommend taking the leap if you haven't already, reconnecting, rediscovering what made you fall in love with games in the first place. Because right now is the perfect time to play some dang retro games.
Yeah.
I can see the whole future from right where I'm sitting. The boss main stage in the village still hitting. The odds stay in the game, but I'm still trying to sub it in my dreams. Exhale to more to make a living. Type funds on my back.
The music too. Yeah, this is a fun video. I liked it. I should like the video. This is an Isaac OS. I do hope you get to do it for a living too. And I hope to join you at some point, brother. There's some good content. Some good content.